Dr. Lil and Keeping It Real. I wanted to get on real quick because there's so much going on in our world at large and even in our personal lives dealing with legal aspects. And I just want to stay tied into some of the things that are talked about and things that are done. Suge Knight, I think, is a very interesting person when it comes down to history and what's been going on in the industry. So I wanted to talk about that, and I also wanted to talk about Cassie. You know, she's live right now. She's been on the stand for 2 days. Now the defense has her. So today we're just going to just dive into Suge Knight and some of his remarks about Cassie, about Tupac, and so much more. I think we need to tune into one of my favorite bloggers, Ticket, and then we're going to move on to another video. So let's strap in, everybody. Let's get in and see what's going on out there, inform ourselves, see how the courts are running across the nation, how judges are being ethical and doing what they're supposed to do in regard to the law. So I'm just interested in that and how things are playing out, because again, we got our own personal things that are going on, and we want to make sure, or at least I do, that our democracy is working, not just for me, but for everybody. So let's talk about everybody, for Lottie Dottie and everybody. Dr. Lil, we just want to tune in, talk about it, chat about it, etc., and see where it takes us. I'm just going to play this right from the start and get right on in it, y'all. That's what we're going to do. So Diddy trial, we got so much going on. All right.
I bet. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, man. Hit the like button and share this video. Make sure y'all share this video, man, because Suge Knight went in. And Suge Knight basically made some serious claims about the murder of Tupac Shakur. Also, Suge Knight made some claims of Cassie Ventura's testimony in court. Basically, Suge Knight also claimed that, you know, him and Diddy had major control. Suge Knight says that 9 times out of 10, anything that him or Diddy told anybody that was working for him, they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he basically was saying that him and Diddy had full control of their crews. When he was speaking about that, when it was asking him about do he think he could control Cassie and stuff like that, also Suge Knight went in and basically he exposed when Cassie had the testimony. Cassie basically came out and said that you know, one night they were in the middle of a freak off in LA, her and Diddy and, you know, somebody else, I guess a worker, but she said that D-Rock had come up to the room and basically D-Rock told Puffy that Suge Knight was at a place called Mel's Diner in LA. Well, Suge Knight has come out and he confirms, he says that he was at Mel's Diner that night. He says, in fact, he was at Mel's Diner until 6 o'clock in the morning like he is all the time. He says, but the thing was, apparently Puffy didn't come down there because he says if Diddy would have came down there, he says that Diddy would be dead today. He says that Diddy would not be alive if him and his guys came down there that night with Cassie, the night Cassie was talking about. Also, he also made some other explosive claims about the murder of Tupac Shakur, right? Somebody asked me, is Suge gonna get on the stand? Why is Suge getting on the stand in this case? He have no bearing in getting on the stand in this case. Cassie just used his name as a situation to show, you know, the propensity of Diddy to go use weapons or use force whenever he wanted. This case has nothing to do with Suge Knight. This is a sex trafficking, prostitution, and racketeering case. This is not a murder case or anything like that.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses, but I have no idea how.
You know, anything to do with Suge Knight. Suge Knight is speaking because his name was mentioned in passing, which you're going to hear with a lot of celebrities in this case. Their names are going to be mentioned in passing, but I'm seeing people say that. I'm glad you said that. I'm seeing people keep saying, well, why this person didn't mention, why this person, bro, all them people y'all talking about ain't fit to be called in no court. This case is going to be subjected around the people who are working in Diddy's inner circle. The celebrities y'all hear, a few of them may come up as witnesses in the case for either Diddy or either Cassie, but all these other people that y'all running around here naming in these comment sections, it's just delusional talk, you know? Most of the people that y'all are hearing in the court cases, like I said before, the people that you're going to hear from on the stands are people that was in the inner circles or people who experienced certain things that was celebrities, like the Kid Cudi situation when she made a brash instance to. You know what I'm saying? Now, you never know if they will subpoena somebody else, because she mentioned the Drake situation. Could they subpoena Drake? I don't know, because I don't know if Drake is a citizen of the United States or if he's a citizen of Canada. But maybe they could try. You never know. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to investigate that situation and show use of violence or force or to show that with Puff. I mean, it's a whole bunch of ifs, ands, or buts that are in the air. But he also made an explosive claim about the murder of Tupac Shakur, man. I'm just gonna let him say it, bro, because Suge don't stir it up some shit on this one, boy. I'm telling you right now, a lot of people gonna be talking after what Suge Knight said in this interview with Chris Cuomo. So he did an interview with Chris Cuomo on News Nation, and I'm gonna play you guys an interview right now. Shout out to Chris Cuomo and News Nation.
From R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility is Mr. Suge Knight. Suge, can you hear me?
Man, I can definitely hear you.
All right.
Hey, don't forget, I'm about that life, but no freak offs.
That's what I said. I said you weren't in them. I don't need to be on your bad side. What I'm saying, though, is you were mentioned. And is it interesting to you that Cassie mentioned you and that the context was that Combs once had him, one of his guys, both armed, and gave her a weapon to go to a diner where they thought you were going to be, Mel's Diner. Were you aware of this, and what does it mean to you?
Well, number one, I was at Mel's Diner, and I didn't leave till 6 in the morning, as usual. But I think if part of the situation is, it's a good thing they didn't show up, because it would have put a big dent in hip-hop, in the culture of hip-hop, because somebody would have got hurt, and I'm quite sure it wouldn't have been me. But it's sort of a situation where you think about how lives can change and so many people can be put in danger. But before we answer that, I wanted to say that it's always a pleasure talking to you, but I also want to say that I feel bad that his daughters had to be in the courtroom to hear all that type of stuff. I wish they can maybe put them outside and miss a lot of that, because it's always about the kids versus the women. Well, it's the most important thing in this world,
Listen, I hear you, but from his perspective, he wants people to see on that jury that he is a father, that he has daughters. I mean, they're in there because he wants them in there. But I get your understanding of the calculus. It's certainly making a lot of people uncomfortable. When you hear about this picture of Sean Combs being painted, that he coerced people, they did what he told them to do, otherwise he would have hurt them, either professionally or physically. Do you believe that perception of him? Was that the reality?
I mean, the reality of it is we all got to take accountability, even myself. I'm quite sure if we tell somebody to do something and he tells somebody to do something, I'm quite sure 9 out of 10 they're going to do what they told. So Cassie probably was in a situation where she was trapped, And sometimes you find out stuff, and I ain't trying to take the things away from all what we're talking about, but sometimes you find out things later on that is so bad to you, it just makes your blood boil. I found out recently that allegedly one of my attorneys, David Kenner, was involved in the assassination of Tupac and me getting shot, and of witnesses, but that's another story. But the main thing is that justice for all.
This call and/or telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I don't think Cassie is in a situation where she has to lie. I don't think she's in a situation where she got to be worried anymore. I think she's in a great place with another baby on the way, and I still feel that Puffy's going to be all right and have a fair shot at it, because Puffy he's not a dummy. And I'm quite sure somebody's going to talk to those jurors and convince one or two of them. That's all he needs is one. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a real exciting situation, but I think he's going to be all right.
Sure. Do you think he's going to be all right because someone's going to tamper with the jury? Is that what you're trying to say?
This is the pink salt recipe that took me from 179 to 126 in just weeks. You know what?
It got enough influence, and I'm quite sure, don't seem like the prosecution is that bad against him. Don't seem like I think he got some favors with the government. I think they're gonna show him a little leeway. It might not seem like it when it's all said and done, but I don't think he has nothing to worry about. I don't think he's worried because he's gonna be federal, and if he gets convicted, Trump's gonna pardon him. So what's the worry?
You think the President of the United States would pardon Sean Combs for sex trafficking?
Shit, he pardoned Michael Harris, who allegedly killed a Jewish teenager or had him killed. So they don't care about that. It's all about, what's in it for the long run and what the bucks say and what the power of the people want.
Suge, I got it.
So let's talk about that just a little bit. And Suge said somebody would get hurt, not killed. He said somebody would got hurt that night, and it wasn't gonna be him if Diddy would have showed up. But if Diddy would have showed up with them things, y'all already know how that was going down. Somebody wasn't walking out of there. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. He also said something about the unaliving of Tupac Shakur. Suge Knight has now put that, and he has now put a lawyer. And he didn't go to explanation, but he has now put a lawyer in that situation, saying that a lawyer has something to do with that. Those are starch allegations, man, from Suge Knight, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are starch allegations from Suge Knight, man. And notice how he did say, because he knows a lot of people's going to listen to him, he did say that, he feels like, hey, whatever they told their crews, hey, they was going to do it. 9 times out of 10, they was going to do it, he said. You know what I'm saying? And so he says that he doesn't think Cassie has a reason to lie. And listen, I agree with that statement. Cassie don't have no reason to lie. People gonna demonize and talk trash about Cassie and bang on her and everything and say she wanted it. She literally sat up there and said that she did not want them to pee in her mouth. She said that in court. But people would just say, hey man, she wanted it. What do you mean she wanted it? She said she wanted to do the free calls at first because she wanted to please Diddy. Then afterwards, she said she started getting infections, all this other stuff, just the recoveries, all this stuff. She said she didn't want to do it no more. But he kept pushing her to do it. And then the videotape exposed everything. She's trying to leave. And this man just comes and drags her up. And if the videotape, she's so calm. Somebody in the courtroom told me this yesterday. Somebody in the courtroom that was in the courtroom yesterday. Y'all know I got people in the courtroom because one of them came on this channel. But they told me yesterday, a different person that was in the courtroom told me, bro, that videotape, they played the whole tape. That shit is going to destroy Diddy because in that videotape, Cassie was so cool, calm, and collected. Everybody was talking about that. How cool, calm, and collected Cassie was in that entire videotape. People were saying the entire video hurt Diddy more than the short form of the video because it shows you how calm Cassie was, walking out the room, trying to walk away. You understand what I'm saying? And this dude snatches her up, drags her down the hall. She looks at him and says, bro, what is you doing? And then the security comes up. He gets into it with Diddy. Cassie's just walking, looking dejected, not fighting back. None of these things. She's just trying to get away. Walking barefooted, bro. Somebody told me yesterday that was in the courthouse, that video destroyed him yesterday. The entire video. He wanted the entire video played. They played the entire video. That destroyed him because it also showed, and like I told y'all yesterday, and I'm not just telling y'all to tell y'all this, I'm telling y'all the truth. It also showed her getting on the phone to call the distress line. That was the distress line she called to get on the phone. That's why the security guard came upstairs, because Cassie called the distress line trying to get help. And they said that is going to do, they said that destroyed him. The person I talked to yesterday, they said the jury is disgusted with Diddy in there. And this is the facts of what I'm telling y'all. Y'all know I got people in that courthouse. They told me that the jury looked disgusted with that dude. And you had to see, that's why I said that people have to see this on TV to understand how things is going down on court. Transcripts don't show you how things are going down. It don't show you what's being showed. You understand what I'm saying? And excuse me, sir, this is what he's being charged for. You guys keep telling the same lie. PJeff005, you're lying, sir. You don't even know what sex trafficking is. You just talking, brother. You said this is not what he's being charged for. He is being charged for this. This is a part of it. Coercion, control, force. That's what sex trafficking is. A lot of you guys just come on here running y'all's mouth. Y'all don't know what sex trafficking is, bro. Read the law, bro. Read the law. You're sitting on here repeating stupidity. And when a nigga get convicted and get life and y'all sitting up here, oh, that's not what he's gonna try. That's what the dummies are telling you.
Big ideas.
It's right there on your screen. The means. This element requires demonstrating that the trafficker, who would be Diddy, used force, fraud, and coercion to control the victim. Nigga, that video, the people that's in the courtroom told me, the whole video he's done. Because she wasn't fighting with him in the video crazy. She looked calm trying to leave. Got on the phone, that man beat her ass and dragged her back towards the room. That right there, they said that the jury is sick of this dude. And his lawyers looked distressed in there too, they said. You guys are crazy as hell, man. And for people to say, oh, well, she doesn't take responsibility, bullshit. She sat right there in court and admitted to her wrong. And let me say something else. People are talking all this malarkey shit. Oh, well, she got paid. Nigga, excuse me. Let me say this to everybody that's watching this video. What about all the artists that didn't get paid that cried about the situation with Diddy? For years. People who didn't get paid, who gave this man all the hard work. People who complained about not getting their money. What about them? Y'all don't want to talk about that? All the artists that said this man screwed them over. We can go down the line. I can sit here all day long and do a video just on that. These niggas easy to beat. Easy to beat. Then the girl, it doesn't benefit her to do this. Oh man, cause see, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Diddy has been known for beating and demonizing all kind of women, black women, Asian women. It ain't no limit. Y'all seen this. Our world have no morals and ethics. And this fool gonna come in the chat and say, oh man, but respectfully, dog, this is not what he's being charged with. He is being charged with this, Janet Jackass. You don't know what sex trafficking is. Go look in the law. Go look in the federal law book of what sex trafficking is. They're showing you the force and coercion. Cassie told you the truth because she admitted that after Diddy had beat her times, stomped her head in an SUV, and all of these other things, it turned her into a monster. That very monster he was, she started hitting him later in the relationship. But what do you expect a woman to do after she's been beat on for goddamn since she was 19 years old by this nigga, stomped on her head and shit? And the only nigga that had enough heart to help her was D-Rock. They showed the text messages in court where D-Rock told her, hey, come on, it's time to go put some ice on your ass. Are you crazy?
Right. She became.
These niggas going straight to fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of these motherfuckers. I don't care about my language. They got a one-way ticket straight to hell. It's literally showing you all this shit. For adults, 18 and older, read the last paragraph there, y'all. Force, fraud, or coercion is required for a commercial sex act to be considered sex trafficking. So let's just tell the truth here. Cassie went into court and said, look, the first time we did it, I want to do it. It was times that I said, you know what, I want to do it to make him happy because he's beating my ass anyways. The sex trafficker, the escorts told you he's whooping her ass in front of them. Then this tape, people in the courtroom told me when the jury seen that whole tape, man, they said he's done. The jury hates this motherfucker. When they seen that whole tape, because that tape shows the force and the coercion. Oh, you gonna bring your ass in here. And in sex trafficking cases, it's right there in the federal law book.
This is the pink salt recipe that took me from 179 to 126 in just weeks.
Look it up. It's right there. Right? You see it on your screen. Right? The force, fraud, or coercion. For adults, force, fraud, or coercion is required for a commercial sex act to be considered sex trafficking. So when Cassie's saying that she kept burning and getting infections and going to her mom, showing her and had all these pictures of her getting beat, they're saying that they were showing the jury all these photos of this nigga whooping her ass over the years. That's crazy work, bro. This nigga whooped this girl ass over a decade, man. And niggas talking about, hey, man, when she was violent with him. Nigga, that's after she was beating his fucking ass. You would tell your daughter to fight back, nigga. For anything. You would want your daughter to get your ass whooped for a fucking decade? And these fucking savages running around here. Oh, man, she wanted it, man. She wanted to get that done. Are y'all out y'all goddamn mind? Yeah, she probably said, hey, man, let's do the freak offer. But then when she found out what it was, man, she probably, man, ain't no way. You doing it 4 times a week. They said she passing out the sex worker. The one said he bought the spy camera because he had to protect himself because he thought Cassie was dead a couple of times. And he didn't want the cops to put that shit on him. That's why one of the main reasons why he got the $5 million NDA. They gonna call his ass, excuse me, not the NDA. That's the main reason why he, what you call it? Yeah, got the $5 million NDA. Jonathan Oddie said that. He's in this case. They told me, the girl that was in the courthouse yesterday, not that girl y'all seen on here, another girl who's in there who I know, she told me that they put the picture of him on the screen, all the people they're gonna enter, he came on that screen. She pointed them out, said, yeah, that's Jonathan. And I'm telling y'all something. What these niggas gonna say when Diddy's own people get on the stand? What they gonna do is shame Diddy's own people for getting on the stand and telling the truth about that nigga. They keep asking, oh, well, where's all his co-defendants? Nigga, they all snitching. You gonna see them later on in this trial. Don't you know we're on day 3 of probably like 60 days of trial? 60 days. I want y'all to think about this. We're on day 3 or day 4, excuse me. Day 4. Y'all got 60 days of this shit. We only on day 4. That's insane. All the shit y'all gonna hear. And here's the thing, right? These people talking all this shit about Cassie. It's gonna be hard for them to keep that same energy with the next girl. It's gonna be hard for them to keep the same energy with the next victim after that. And the next victim after that. And the next victim after that. What's all the excuses gonna be then? They got more victims. This ain't just Cassie Ventura. They set it off with Cassie. And the reason why they set it off with Cassie And I'm going to tell you guys why they set off with Cassie first. Because she's pregnant and they want to get her in and out of there as quick as possible. That's the reason why they set it off with Cassie first. They got to extend those. People think the Fed's just playing. They're just showing y'all a part of the force and coercion. That is a part of it. So when the jury is given the instructions before they go and make a decision, bro, this is going to be a slam dunk. I'm telling y'all this. They're already going to get them on the prostitution. Somebody says, oh, man, but they agreed to pay. Are you an idiot? If you pay a person for sex, it's illegal. Only is legal in certain parts of Nevada. It's illegal. That's solicitation of prostitution across state lines. When you're traveling and bringing escorts here, bringing escorts there. These dudes have already got up on the stand, one of them, and have already said that this man paid me. Jonathan Oddie, his testimony is going to be the most damning because he got an NDA. And they better hope and pray. And I'm going to say this to the whole world. They better hope and pray that he still don't got that videotape and a copy of it. Because he said he got it transcribed. They better hope it's not another copy of that video. And then not only that, man, let me tell y'all something. They talk about putting him on the stand. I'm finna tell y'all right now, bro. He get up on that stand and nigga start barking, nigga. He gonna start saying some names, nigga. Like he did in the interrogation room, man. It's gonna get real funky.
Ba-bum. Hi, I'm Burke, a small business insurance expert from Byberg.
It's gonna get real funky. And you know he going on the stand because an NDA doesn't mean anything when you're dealing with criminal activity. An NDA is null and void. And when he goes in there and they show that he signed that NDA and they show he was paid $5 million, that's going to destroy Diddy. This is the part they're not telling y'all because a lot of these people are not even in the courtroom. So they just going off a transcript and the transcript's not giving y'all everything. I was told that too. I was told that the transcript is not telling us everything that's going on in the courthouse. There's way more stuff going on and being said than what's in the transcripts. Way more stuff. As far as evidence being shown, people saying things. I'm just telling y'all, man. And so this situation, bro, and then you got guys, like I said, Suge Knight out here talking and now his name been brought up. Y'all hearing a lot of other people's name brought up. And let me tell y'all something, man. I'm just preparing y'all, bro. People's on Diddy's team have flipped on him, man. The government have flipped Diddy's co-conspirators, bro. They're going to get on the stand and testify against that, man. You guys got to understand, it is a marathon. These stupid mofos is sprinting. When this shit right here is a marathon, y'all. It's a marathon. This is a 60-day, almost 70-day trial. This ain't no one-day trial where you get all the evidence in one day. People run around here like hooligans and wild baboons with their heads cut off. I don't see nothing. We're in day 2, Janet Jackass. You got to remember, they got to go through all of the witnesses, all of the evidence, all of the paperwork. Y'all forgetting all of these things. It's crazy work. They're just showing you the key part of sex trafficking. Look on your screen. Right? Read the last sentence in paragraph number 1. For adults, right? Force, fraud, or coercion is required for sex trafficking to be a federal offense. Federal. That's in the law. What are the courts doing right now? They're showing you guys that Cassie originally was willing to be a part of the freak offs, but then it turned to where she didn't. And they have text messages where she told him that she didn't want to do it. And when that happened, she got her ass beat, stomped in the ground. They have the pictures. They have messages, all of these things. I don't understand what y'all don't understand about this. She talked about how she had those urinary tract infections. It was burning all the time. Couldn't barely recover because she's doing freak offs 4 days every week for this nigga. She couldn't even recover. You think a woman want to go through that shit? And then after the beatings and all that other shit, man, she probably like demoralized, nigga. But she had to hold it together. Because you never know. She think about her family, people around her and stuff like that. And is she perfect? No, she's not perfect. This is a perfect lesson to all the young people out here of why you don't get yourself a certain lifestyle. You get around the wrong people, peer pressure, it just destroys your life. Right? Then you got people saying, "Oh man, the trainer, he's the man. The trainer don't know shit, man. He's the trainer, nigga. He's in the gym. How the hell the trainer knew all this stuff was going on behind the scenes? He probably didn't originally know. Cassie probably told him and confided in him, and that's probably how they ended up becoming close. Cassie's working out with this guy. She confided in him all the shit that she got going on with her. Because he's probably seeing her look crazy as hell. Just unbelievable stuff, man. Unbelievable stuff, man. And like I said, it's right here in the law. They had to, so that's why the feds are doing this first. They're showing you the force, the coercion, and all these things first. That's the first thing they're showing y'all. Right?
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not. Whoops. I have no idea what these buttons do.
I've never driven a stick in my life. Not my hardest roll yet.
Small business owner, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But GoDaddy Arrow does, using AI to build a logo, website, and social.
You have to understand this, man. And then you read all of this paperwork, right? Look what it says right there. To secure a conviction in a sex trafficking case, law enforcement and prosecutors must demonstrate that the victim, Cassie, was compelled to engage in commercial sex acts through force, fraud, or coercion. They already showing you the force. That is the reason why Diddy's lawyers wanted this video out, because the feds have proof that this was a freak off, and Cassie was tired and trying to leave that freak off. She didn't want to do it anymore, and when she left, Diddy beat that ass. She tried to call for help. Diddy came back and beat her some more and threw that vase at her. He's done. The whole tape has been released. You can't say she wasn't trying to get away in that tape. She was. And people lied on her, because that's what they do on YouTube. They lie. They're skunks and slithering snakes of the world. They said that Cassie had money in that bag. That's a goddamn on lie. Those were her clothes in that bag. That was not money in that bag. Oh, Diddy was chasing her because she stole his money. No. And you're all wrong. Diddy took her phone, not because he was jealous or caught somebody. What they're saying is Diddy took that phone because he didn't want her calling nobody or able to leave, because she wanted to call an Uber and a cab. And that's why Diddy took her bag and the phone back to that room. because he knows she couldn't go nowhere without that phone. That's why Cassie went and grabbed that phone on the wall, you lying, capping ass, Reverend Leon Lonnie Love ass Negroes. Let's tell the truth, nigga. And we gonna do it and shame the devil.
I think that's a good place to stop, everybody. I wanted to do the Cassie stuff. We're going to go into her live in a minute, the Cassie trial live. But the whole thing with this, for me at least, is exposing the truth about whatever we need to expose it to. But also, as I said early on, to compare district courts and judges from state to state, if you will, or situation to situation. For those who don't know by now, me and my godson, Rymir Satterway, is in a what you call the district court in regard to circumstances and situations that has happened to us started 14 years ago. As of 14 years ago, from a state level, we are now in district court because of civil rights, etc. But things that have happened that were not correct. In our regard, it was the system. It was the actual people who are staffed in the court, if you will. In this case, we're dealing with, obviously, the parties are having what we call problems, etc. And Cassie being a victim, as we believe, in a situation with Mr. Sean Combs. But this particular thing is related to us because it has elements that are similar to our case in regard to trying to buy the system and or trying to beat the system. So at the end of the day, in our case, like anybody's case, you want the truth to prevail. So I wanted to show this because, one, we need to keep abreast of it. We need to stay on top of it. We are the community, everybody, and we want to make sure that the system works. If I'm going to pay taxpaying, if I'm going to stop at a red light, if I'm going to follow the law a little bit, I'm going to follow it all the way, right? So it's not like we get in a certain court, whether it be state or district, and things change when people money come in. That's not going to happen, everybody, because people in my family, my mother, my father, they worked with this system. My father didn't die for the system, but he fought for the system in the war. So there are things that are connecting us together as people, right? So I wanted to talk about that. I don't believe what Suge Knight is saying. That's his opinion about Donald Trump being, he's going to do a pardon. I mean, who knows? I doubt it. But at the end of the day, I think that the evidence speaks for itself. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Combs, Diddy, could not find a way to have clean fun for real and know when to stop. As an adult, you have to know when to stop. You can't keep going. But when you get your head big and you're kind of narcissistic because something made you narcissistic or something was in there to make you think you can do what you wanted all the time, your money, then you get a little cocky. All of us got to be careful of that, right? You can take yourself down. Nobody don't need to do it. You're doing it yourself. So that's called self-control, everybody. Self-control. Maturity, where you can say no to yourself. Let me not stop preaching, because I ain't trying to preach here, y'all. I ain't trying to do that. I really ain't. But anywho, this is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. I just wanted to get on and talk about this because I think this is an important aspect of our legal system that we got to keep in front of us, because you never know what you don't know. And as we are in the same kind of system, we want our system in our country to work. That's right. In our state, in our country as a whole, to work and work correctly and right. Don't have to win a case, but it sure enough should be done right. And when it ain't, then it's a problem, right? When the procedures are not done, that's a problem, everybody. It makes people feel like you're trying to get over on me, that this is my civil rights being violated. That's a problem, right? At any rate, this is where we are. So be encouraged, everybody. This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. We'll be back. Just want to give you tidbits. Be encouraged. Look around. Be observant in your community. Be empowered. Run for office. Do things that you need to do to help make the community better. You can do it. We were just in some meetings this week, and I'm going to show them soon. We are making legislation, everybody. Something going to change in our situation. It's not going to just happen again for somebody else to go through 14 years of hogwash and stupidity. It's not going to happen, everybody. You have freedom of speech. And it's not like you taking and tearing nothing down. But if you are in the office to do the work, you took an oath of office. And we expect you to follow it. Oh, yes, we do. No matter what state you're in, by the way. So here we are dealing with this, and we don't even know why we're dealing with it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, everybody. So I just wanted to talk about what we wanted to talk about so that we can be encouraged to look forward to the right things, because the right things are important. They're important for us to not get them twisted and messed up in regard to the situations.
Your workflow is important to us. Please wait indefinitely.
With Monday.com's intuitive work.
But the main thing is that
we just wanted to show what we needed to show for the Suge Knight thing. And you guys get it. You guys get it. Thank you so much for participating. Leave comments and what you think. What did you think about what I said? You know, do you believe that people have freedom of speech to do what they think and believe to a point, even when they're doing the wrong thing? Because some people feel like their wrong things is right, but we know it's not. That's why we have a law to follow, blah, blah, blah. But I know, yeah, interpretation and attorneys. I get it. But you can be your own attorney to some degree if you understand your rights to some degree. Of course, it's good to have a good ethical attorney, but not when the person is trying to break and bend the law, right? So at the end of the day, just be encouraged. We're all going to try to do what we need to do because that's important for us to follow the path. The path will take us where we need to go. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking with you soon. This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. And I think we're going to probably come right after this and do Cassie, because Cassie is an important part of all that we do as well. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.